Okay, this is the start of another of my projects that I'm doing. I've showed this amplifier, haven't went through it. This is the Heathkit SB-220, not the Ugly Betty Heathkit SB-200. This is, I've got four, I think. Well, actually, I think I got the HL2200, a nice SB-220, then a rough 220, which is this one, and then I had a very rough 220 for parts. So I decided to go ahead and start on the rough 220, SB-220. You know, the HL2200 is working and going good. The clean Heathkit SB-220 that was rebuilt by a local master builder here, who is better than me. You know, that's going good. So I decided to do one more to get it out the way. And I practice what I preach. I say the first thing I do before I power them up or do anything else is to replace the old filter caps. We got to take it apart a little bit. We got the transformer out of it. And by the way, speaking of transformer, that's the transformer out of it, an original Heathkit SB-220 transformer. Over here is the transformer, plate transformer out of a Henry 2K. Okay. I always say that the Heathkit is more of a sideband amp or not a heavy duty amp. That's one of the reasons why. As you can see, the transformer for the Henry is a lot more robust. But anyway, back to this. So we bought this filter capacitor board off eBay for like 25 bucks, I believe, because I like the price. And as you can see, it's going to be a fit for that. I put the caps in myself because I had the caps. It did come with the bleeder resistors on it already. And if you look on the net about the Heathkit SB-220 mods, a common mod that most people do to modernize a Heathkit SB-220 is to go with a lot higher resistance for the equalizer resistors. These are original resistors, and as you can see, those are 30 kilo ohms. That's a lot of bleed, and that's why they went 7 watts. And you can see that they're running, it's a little dirty, but you can see it's running hot too, because at 30K, I think each of those bleeders, I have ohmed it out before using Ohm's law, but I forgot, getting old, CRS. But I think each of those resistors is sucking down about 5 watts each of power that could be used for, going to the output. You don't need that much bleed, even though bleed is not the only purpose of those resistors. Those bleed, they equalize, and they put a minimum load on the amplifier when, on the high voltage when you're not keyed down. However, for any of those purposes, you don't need that much. In the old days, yeah, you wanted to suck it down to help regulate it and high bleed, it bleeds it down quicker. But darn, what's the difference between 1 minute and 3 minutes? Turn the thing off, unplug it, let it drain for 3 minutes instead of 1, and then use your chicken stick or whatever you do to make sure it's completely unbled before you go in it. You don't need 1 minute. 3 minutes fine, because in operation you're wasting all that power. You got 8 caps, so 8 bleeder resistors at 5 watts each. That's 40 watts of power wasted with those. Modern thinking, and this is just not me. If you look on the net, most people do this. And even this kit or this board that I bought, it did come with the equalizing bleeder resistors on it, and they are 100K, over 3 times higher resistance, so 3x less wasted power. So these are probably pulling about 1.5 watts instead of the 5 watts there. And as you can see, they went with smaller resistors, even though those look like 5-watt resistors. To me, they're going to run a lot cooler. And, you know, since the bleeder resistors are always connected across each capacitor, or let's call them the equalizing resistors, they're going to be close to the capacitors. You get all that heat right next to the capacitors. This help drying them out and aging them and making the capacitors go bad. Capacitors do not like heat. They don't like age. They don't like heat. They don't like humidity. They don't like any of that. However, with the higher resistance bleeder resistors, only pulling about 1.5 watts, give or take, you're going to have a lot less heat. What's 1.5 times 8? 12. Instead of 40 watts of heat on these resistors all the time, you're going to have 12 watts. You know, still a little bit of heat, but a lot less than 40. And that other 28 watts can go toward your output instead of being wasted in heat there. So up in the bleed resistance is a common thing for modern amp building. I know some people like, you know, I want to keep it factory. You know, you're modding things. Well, just because they did something a certain way in the old days doesn't mean it was always right. And in modern days, you know, back then they worked with what they had to work with. Capacitors were a lot bigger, and their resistance, or their back resistance across them, their ESR, was all over the place. It wasn't consistent, so they had to put the equalizing on there to help with the consistency of that back resistance also. However, modern capacitors, they have a much higher resistance or internal resistance in them, and it's a lot more standardized. So instead of being all over the place, they're already a lot more equal than in the past. So you don't need that super heavy bleed anymore, or as much as you used to. Things change. So, you know, turning it around here, these are 330 UF 450 volt capacitors, and these are 200 UF 450 volt capacitors. Let's see if I can get them side by side. Okay, these are about half the length, if not smaller. And these new ones are, again, they're about a third, even more than a third bigger. More like 35, maybe 40% bigger with the UFs. Same voltage. But even though they got more capacitance, same voltage, they are a lot smaller. They're a lot more uniform than these old capacitors. Again, like I say, the first thing I do before I fire it up, before I test it, I get people ask me, hey, did you test it first? Nope, I don't test it first. What often happens is one of these capacitors, they're old, they're dry, they've been around that heat of those bleeder resistors all the time. You fire it up and they short out, and often a shorted capacitor or take out the high voltage diode bank, and often the high voltage diode bank, when it shorts, it'll take out the high voltage transformer. Once you do that, cancel Christmas. High voltage transformers are not easy to find and not cheap when you do find them, right? So save yourself from having a bad Christmas. And if you want the amp to ever to be dependable or trustworthy, replace the caps. You know, I get people like, mine worked fine. I've been using it for, 30 years, never had a problem with it. Yeah, sure. Take tires on a car or something. Like, you got 100,000, 150,000 miles on the tires. Yeah, they worked fine. They've lived their life. Let them go. Same with these capacitors. Let them be. Replace them. Go with higher ratings on the resistors. And again, it will make it a much better and more dependable amp. Before I go, rhetorical question. I already know the answer to it. What's that piece of paper back there, and why? Again, that's a rhetorical question. Whoever answers that first gets another attaboy. Why they put paper back there for that? So anyway, and that's right behind where the capacitor bank is. All right, that's gonna be it for this one. Just starting on the Heathkit SB-220, rough one, but let's clean it up okay. We're gonna put some new parts in it and clean it up a little more before we fire it up, and keep a watch out for up and coming. That's it for this one. Bye.